Hi guys, in this section we will define a component that will list the available employee that we have since that we define a get. So let's go to this source and create a new folder. Call this component. This is where all our components will be. So inside the component we will create a new file and call this employee list.js. okay, so here we'll define a function const employee. We'll set employee list, then equal to followed by okay. So we need to, before starting to write, we need to export this. Export default, then employee list. Okay, so let's start to define the UI. What we will do, we will have a return, and inside this we will have everything that we need to define. So we'll start with the div. Okay, so we'll have a container that will contain all the elements that we will have apart from the div that we just defined. Okay, so let's have this another div, and we'll call this, we'll give this a bootstrap class name, which is container, on this container empty4, so that we could have a space. Okay, so on the next thing we will do is we will define a cat, where we will define the cat header and the cat body. So we also need a div for this, and the class name for this is cat. Okay, and let's have a cat header. So div will have a class name again for this class name. We call this cat header. Okay, so and we also need a div. We call this cat body. Class name cat body. Okay, so let's start with the cat header, and inside the cat header what we want to define is just a text employees. So let's have h4, and we name these. Inside this we'll add employees. So we just need to change this m, and we will need to align it to center. Okay, we have a class name with text center. This will align it to center. So inside the cat body will define a table. Okay, so let's have this table. So we'll start with the table, and we need to pass a class name, bootstrap class name for the table as well. So this will be table strip. Okay, so table strip, and this is okay. So we need to define the t head. Okay, so let's drop this on. We need the t head. So and then followed by the table row, where we'll define the static table header for this. So we need th, and we'll define the first name, last name, and email. So we will have first name, then followed by last name, and then followed by email. Okay, and the next thing we will do is we will define the T body. Okay, let's have this T body. So inside the T body, we need to map over a list of employees that we have in our state, then and display them. So for this case, we need to go back to the top of this class, to the top of this function, and we need a list of employees. So we need to import the use selector, which will select the data that we have in the state. Const, we call these employees equal to, and we use the use selector. So we'll get the state like this, state. So by doing this, we get all the employees that we have, and we need to dispatch the action that we define using the use effect. So we need to import the use effect. So if you remember, inside the action.js, we just defined this function, but we did not call it. We need to call it so that it can dispatch the data that we have. So let's go back to the employee list component, and so here we need to have the use effect work. So we use the use effect. So then let again import the dispatch or use dispatch. Okay, and let's have const call this dispatch and set it to use dispatch. Okay, and the next thing we will do is we will dispatch the action. So we need to import the action as well. Import get employee action. So we dispatch the employee action, dispatch employee action, that is get employee action. Here it is. So this is what we do here, and we need to save the changes. So inside the body, we need to map over the list of employees that we have in the database, which is fetched to our state. So we'll use the employees dot map. So let's see the name that we just give the employee. Yes, so employee dot map, and we'll map over the list of employee. For each employee, we will display it. So let's have this, and okay, add it inside this. So we'll start with the first name. Let's define a TD. So let's have 1, 2, 3. Okay, and we use this to display this. We need employee dot first name. Okay, and this all that we need to do. We need to save the changes. Okay, that is all we need to do to display these employees. Okay, so we will call this function now. Before calling this inside the app.js, let's have some modification here. We did not supposed to just call this method like this. It is a method, we call it like this. So let's save the changes and we will go to the app.js. So we need to import the component, so it is employee list, and so we need to change this. Let's just define a simple div like this and call the employee list. So here it is. So we need to save all changes before checking. Make sure you save all changes. Okay, so let's go to the browser. You see it fetch the data that we have in the database, this data. Okay, so let's go back to the browser and see if our fetching that we do is working. Console. So you see it fetch data. Console again. You see it data fetch from DB. That is what we define inside the action Ali usable. Okay, so that is what we define. And then the next thing, let's check our Redux. So to check the Redux, right click. You see we have Redux dev tool. Let's set it to left, and you see we have a get action. So Redux is a very simple way to handle data. So here is the state you can see. Okay, so see you in the next